wonderful Thursday, June 4th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. It's back to black today. Today I went blonde, but we're back to black today, and we've got some gold highlights for the summertime. I have been enjoying the summer fashions this season on this Style by Stevie. So, without further ado, back here in the dollhouse with me, we have TV, film, and commercial actor Ty Wayne Wheat. Welcome back, stranger. It's been a minute. How have you
Yeah,
been?
I have been wonderful. I've been great. I've been blessed, you know what I'm saying? I'm still above the ground, so every day of that that's is a great day. How about you? How you been?
Yes, fabulous, fabulous. This has been the most amazing season ever thus far, and it is
Mhm.
so many more great surprises. A lot of collaborations. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm anticipating all of these collaborations that I have coming up this season and so much more. And then, of course, season 21, season 22, and beyond. I'm looking forward to it. And you guys heard me release the premiere date of when we're going to go live here on YouTube. It's January 1st, 2027. So we've already got guests. We're going to be booked for the remainder and the rest of this year, all the way up into the new year of 2027. So many great things are coming. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So proud. It's just been a great year overall. It's been busy, but it's been a balance also.
That's good. Busy is good. Busy is wonderful.
Yes, 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 yes. It's now the summertime. So what do you have planned as we're heading now into the summer? The months are going to get hotter and hotter. So you guys make sure y'all are staying cool, drinking lots of water out here and hydrated.
hmm um, just um, just continuing. Honestly, just to continue to grow as an actor, because as an artist, because I feel like you can never stop learning. You know what I mean? Anything to stop moving, I think eventually dies. Anything that's in motion stays in motion. You know what I mean? So um, I'm also trying to. I'm venturing out into writing a couple things and trying and producing something. Um, uh, yeah, I've been it's been an idea in my head for a good minute, but I want to do a short film. I'm going to do a short film, and I'm working on a script for it's a series, a TV series, but it's more so, I don't know what platform it would be suitable for, but it's basically a series based on um, my dating life, you know, uh, and just about love and dating as a kind of I would say middle age, like my time from like my late 20s to like my 40s. You know what I mean? And even now, the book is still being written because I'm still living. I'm still I'm not. Well, I'm divorced, but just it's a whole journey. That I'm going to put down and make into kind of a kind of comedy or like a serious, but you know comedic series. You know what I mean? But and also a short film based on this a girl that I grew up with in Newark, New Jersey. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. It's she passed away when I was in college, and kind of just a short film, just uh, kind of a celebration and memory of her, but it's kind of a tragic ending. But it's kind of a dedication to her, to where I grew up. So it's a
And
new lane for me um as opposed to just acting and waiting for work, which is the industry's kind of slow right now. But so you just gotta um my great talented friend Ernestine Morrison um says don't wait, create at Greenleaf Studios. So that's what we so that inspires me, you know what I mean? So yeah.
and I just had a make sure y'all go and check out yesterday's episode. We had time was had. I sat down with the beautiful Lynette Tichelle. She has her production company, New Breed Entertainment,
Mhm,
and she's in the LA area.
mhm,
And she has been out here putting her films out. And also, I sat with an actor by the name of Tyrone Nathaniel, who's also a good friend of the show. You're a good friend of the show as well, too.
mhm.
And he said the same for actors out here, where there seems like there's a slow period where a lot of shows are not in production or films are not in production. You
Right.
have to keep busy and constant. And me, I'm like, oh no, there's not going to be a day when I'm not going to go on and do an interview. I'm going to go on and do this show because somebody has a story that needs to be told. And even if
Exactly.
someone cancels, I'm like, okay, what's my resource? What am I going to do? So I came up with a new series, you guys, and it talks about my health. You guys have seen the weight loss, me losing the weight. And yes, the hourglass shape is back. Yes, honey, she is a devil. I am back. That hourglass shape is back, and I'm losing the weight. I feel great. And you guys are going on the journey with me every morning. I exercise from 7 to 7:30. And I'm a firm adamant believer of taking care of yourself. And I just vent. I What can I do that's just random other than doing Style by Stevie? What
Mhm.
can people see? Because I know people want to get just a little glimpse inside their life of what you're doing behind the scenes and don't just be bored. So find something as a creative, as an actor, I would encourage you to write. And you said middle aged where you look like you're my age in your 30s. So
No, I'm
hey, because we
47. I'm 47 years young.
take care of ourselves, and
Mhm.
that's something that you have to do. And you're talking about sharing your personal experience with dating, with life. So I see it. And you said writing a book as well too.
Uh,
Definitely.
yeah. Well, it's a short story. It's just creating a short story about my friend Rashida. But yeah, yeah.
And the memories, all of these things having to go back in time. And I think that it is important more than ever to share our stories as Black creatives. And that was something that me and Lynette we were talking about yesterday. And you said Newark. So I just recently had King Judah on, who's
That's
also
my
an actor.
guy. That's my
Yes,
guy.
and he's in the New York, New Jersey area. When he said Newark, New Jersey, the only person that I can think of in Taiwan, I love this woman with all my heart. Y'all know
Mhm,
I am a big Nippy fan, and me and Lynette were just talking about Whitney the entire interview yesterday. You guys go and check it out. It was an hour-long girl talk, and we just talked about all of our favorite women in the business, from Taraji to Whitney to
mhm.
Diana Ross. The list goes on and on.
Right.
So when I said Whitney, she was like, "Girl, I love Whitney Houston," and I said, "Me too." So when he said it, when King Judah said Newark, New Jersey, the first person that came to mind is Nippy because she's from the bricks. That's her
Mhm,
hometown. So
mhm,
I believe that it's important that filmmakers like yourself and producers and actors like yourself and King Judah, he also has a project that he's on that is female led. Make sure
mhm,
y'all go and support it. It is called Grit and Glory. He's doing crowdfunding. So he's now in the second phase of his project funding. So make sure y'all go and support that as well too. So shout outs to him. But I just really had him on and we were talking about the importance of Black storytellers. No one can tell your story better than you, which is
right.
why I created Style by Stevie so that Black voices, predominantly our voices, can have a space where we share what we're working on, our upcoming projects, promote. You send me in a DM and I will repost. I've been reposting like crazy on my
Mhm,
Instagram. So make sure that you're following me on Instagram at style by Stevie underscore daytime. And if it's
mhm.
something that you want promoted, I will do it for free of no charge. I charge for that
Appreciate
because I believe that every Black filmmaker, every Black creative, every Black voice that is doing something, that is producing, that is independent, because it's not easy doing this independent. And I'm
Mhm,
not backed by a big company like those talk shows that you would see, like, for example, uh, she kind of shaped the way I do my interviews and how just my format, organization, all of that. It was Ricky Lake. The
yeah.
way she had her layout. Sally Jesse Raphael is another. Of course, Oprah. That's a no-brainer.
Mhm,
But These women had networks backing them. It was
mhm,
big ticket television or either Warner Brothers or any of these big companies. Not backed by that. I'm doing this independently and from the comfort of my own home. That's the beauty of it. And this knowledge that actors come on my platform and share with people
mhm,
is a catalyst to help other people in their careers. So I want you to do it. And when you said, okay, I'm going to talk about my dating, the first person that came to mind for me was Leslie Jones because when she does her stuff, she
mhm,
talks about what it's like dating and, being a woman of a certain particular age and all of these things. So it has to be relatable because they're looking someone out there looking for somebody that can relate to that aspect. Make it human, make it fun. And more
mhm,
importantly, that people can resonate with that. We the
mhm,
consumers can relate to that in some special way. And it's
mhm,
personable. And that's what me and Lynette were talking about yesterday.
mhm. Yeah, it's so funny that when I talk to, sometimes I'll share what's inspired me to write about my dating life was that um I would tell people like certain stories about my dating life. They think I'd be lying and they'd be laughing. I'm like, no, like this really happened. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of stories because and I realized that they knew somebody that had a similar story or they had a even, you know, more interesting story. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I feel like just me and my perspective, kind of my quirky, outlook on life will be relatable in a sense, And it's so funny. I just looked at something on I was scrolling a little bit. I was doom scrolling, and I looked at this guy who goes around giving money to people or whatever, and he's successful at. I don't really know what he does, but he goes to like supermarkets and give people money, pay for their, if they have any problems, he'll basically give. And sometimes the best blessing is being able to give a blessing. So he lady asked him, she said, why are you doing this? And do you have any tips on success? And he was like, I just wanted to give back. It makes me feel good to give back. And also, he said he had to learn to not give up. Meaning, if I try something, I'm like, okay, well, that didn't work out. Like what I got from it is sometimes it's not going to work out at first. Not quitting and not giving up is continuing to be resilient, to keep going down the road, to success. You like I always say, if you live by the cheers, you'll die by the booze. Not I've heard that. I didn't say that's not my own thing, but and it's just a thing of that. Just no matter what, stay on your path. It's kind of my theme right now. Like as you can see, I'm fully Knicks gear today because they're my team and they're in the finals and winning. And just the resilience. To be a Knicks fan means to be resilient in this industry. Whatever you do is resiliency at its most. So that's what kind of my mind frame is on. Like I've had my stumbles. No one's perfect. You make mistake, bad choices, but you got to keep going. You got to get back on that horse. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That was also something we touched on as well too, which is resiliency.
Mm,
Reinventing yourself in this business, and I'm no stranger to that. Always having something to fall back on, and that would be my suggestion to any creative out here. Always have something. Never place your egg in one basket. Make sure that you're having different irons in the fire.
mm,
That's an old adage I'm pretty sure everybody has heard. Make sure you have multiple irons. And so
mm,
I don't just host Style by Stevie and do the interviews. Like right after this, I'm going to be going on ahead and writing and publishing my article to go to the magazine publication that I write for, which is Original Magazine UK. You guys forgot. Right. So I'm one of the fashion contributors for Original Magazine UK. So I have to keep an eye on what's going on, what's going to be in style because we're now going summer months, and then before you know it all, it'll be festival season. So
Mm.
gonna be a lot going on. Essence Fest is going on, so I have to get that in. I've already submitted my photos and everything. So right after this, when I get done with Ty Wayne, is gonna be writing my article and then
Mm.
planning for who's coming on the tweet, which is you guys can see the lineup who's coming on. It will drop Friday at 3 p.m. So make sure y'all stay tuned on my Instagram. Lineups are already scheduled here on YouTube, so you guys can go and just kind of and see who's coming on. Make sure you also go to my community tab as well too. So again, when we say multiple irons in the fire, that means multiple outlets. I'm not
Mhm.
a hostess, as my colleague, shout outs to my colleague Conscious TV, he hostess with the mostest.
Mhm.
But I also write. I also go behind the scenes, put things together with my colleagues, collaborate, which is the season 20 is the season I want to continue to collaborate with people. So when I teamed up with other creatives here in the YouTube verse, and there's going to be plenty more to come. Lane, you're going to be shocked, like, oh my God, how did she get this person and this person and this person? We have been talking behind the scenes. I can't give everything away, but I'm excited. And also make sure that you're networking. Networking is key. That is strategy. If you want to promote your brand, your business, whatever it is, make sure that you let people know your name. And more importantly, promote yourself. Nobody can do it better than you. So
Mm.
even when I do my promos for my interview, Stevie, who's coming on every Friday, you see that, you see me on the emblem, that artwork, my artwork, and then you swipe through and you'll see the guests come on. It draws you in. Like, who does she have coming on this week? The artwork draws you in. And a very special thank you to Leander Valiant, who's gonna be coming on my show a little bit later this year. But he created the artwork. He said, "Let me do your artwork for you." And we went through a couple options, maybe like I think it was 4 or 5 different options. And I said, "Nope, nope." And I was like, "Wait a minute." And he's like, "Give me some critiques." I said, "You for my nails. My nails are very long." So he went and came back about 5 minutes later, just like that. The
Mm.
artwork had nails, it had lashes. My eyes are kind of almond shaped. So I said, sharpen up those eyes, give it a lash, throw a lash. And he took
Mhm.
one of my photos and went and did his thing and zhuzh, and this is the new Style by Stevie emblem, the new logo that you guys
Okay.
see every. It's all about promoting yourself and
Mhm.
getting yourself out there. It draws you in. Whereas before, I was just like Prince. I just wanted to put up my Style by Stevie name and then the person who I'm interviewing on the logo. But no, you've got a beautiful. I'm gonna say you got a beautiful face. Show that face off. Let the world see your face. So
Let your light
with
shine.
that right there, I see a difference. And it's all about marketing and getting yourself out there to any black filmmaker or creative, making sure that you're taking advantage of that. So AI can be used to your advantage. When Ty Wayne was telling me I've got glasses, I'm like, meta glass, I've never heard of that. Just bring some regular earbuds. But it's a new thing. I've looked a little into it and it's a new thing out here. So use it to your advantage to any artist out here for your artworks, for your covers, for your flyers. Take advantage of AI. I love it. I don't know how he did this, Lee, but Lee put all of the things that I love. I love makeup, I love fashion, and I do that and so much more. So when you see the emblem, it's beauty, fashion, and commentary. Something that I do. I don't just stay in one lane. So again, it goes back to what I said with being someone who can hats, and that is what I am for sure, is being able to wear different hats. Making sure the production and everything is okay. Make sure the lighting is decent. Make this is in place and this is in place. So those are things that I have to do before an interview comes on. Sometimes we might have to do a test call. And if let's request that, then I go right on ahead and I do it with them. Either the day
Mhm.
before or the interview before we go on that day. It'll be early up in the day, but not before the show. Just to make sure that everything is running smoothly. So those are tips to anybody who's looking to expand their empires, grow their empires, to grow their brand, to grow whatever it may be they're interested in doing. And it might seem like a slow season. I was talking to another actor, and he was just like, I'm not on set right now. I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
Actors are having their slow days. A lot of actors are having slow moments. But again, make sure you are having different outlets,
Mhm.
different. Another example would be Candy Burris, and I love Escape. Escape is one of my favorite girl groups. When the ended, her and her bandmate Tiny, who is Ti, if you guys know Tiny Harris, they went and they formed a group together. Started writing their songs, and this is how TLC got No Scrubs, and so Destiny's Child got Bills, 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 and so many other artists. They started writing for other artists. So
Mhm.
yes, it's one thing to be in front of the microphone, but it's one thing to be in the studio with a pen and a pad and just writing it down. And then you're giving it on to other artists. You're writing for other artists. So you have to form some sort of residual income. And that is key. Another thing we talked about on this show is generational wealth, growing generational wealth, branding, marketing yourself. Um,
Mhm.
every brand that we know, every household brand that we know, let's see, Laurie's seasoning. Laurie's seasoning household, y'all know that red. Y'all
Everybody
see
got
that
that.
red circle. All right. Let's see. What's another brand? I love ice cream. I love Breyers ice cream. Breyers is a household name as well too. So
Mhm.
what do they do to draw you in? It's the black carton of ice. It's the black, just plain simple black, and then it'll have the ice cream on, flavor on the front like chocolate, vanilla, whatever. So Baskin Robbins is another, Ben and Jerry's. So it's all about doing something that will grab people's eye and attention. Tips to
Mhm.
stand out, and if it's like a slow period for anybody, actor, anybody. So I try to make sure that I'm keeping busy doing something, even if
Right.
it's an appearance on one of my colleagues' platform. They'll you want to come up, you want to say something when we're having a discussion or whatever that is. Shout outs to my colleague Bubs the God for doing that. He was like, I'll drop the link. You come on up, promote your platform well to let everyone know where they can follow you. And that will bring that traffic to you.
Mhm.
Keep going from there. It's all
Mhm.
about forming some sort of a way to be like, okay, I'm building up my audience. And
Mhm.
ever since I've changed the logo and things around, I see a difference. I see an increase in traffic, and then I see like a decrease. The ones who I
Mhm.
haven't seen in a while, because a lot of people have, deactivated their pages or whatever. So you'll see that period where it goes up and down. Just check
Mhm.
your analytics. And
Mhm.
shout outs to my brother K Tukes host K Tuke spot. He taught me about that. He says, Sister, did you go and you check to see how many people have been viewing your channel? And over here it's like 55,000 the last time I checked. So
That's great.
people are watching,
That's great.
they're reposting, and I go back and I check my graphs as well too. Set if you've got an Instagram business account, the
Mhm.
the beauty of it is that you get to see the percentage of how many people are viewing, even your non-followers as
Mhm.
well. So make sure that you are going back and checking that. I'm like, brother, I don't pay attention to that. But he said, no, sister, you really need to go and check this out because people are watching you.
I
It's
have a
something
question.
that yeah.
I have a question for you. I don't mean to cut you off. I just
Go ahead.
now when you post, right, and you constantly are creating content, what what is your strategy as far as getting people to subscribe and like, and because I find that's a lot with people. They'll have a gripe about people not liking, looking but not liking, or not subscribing. What is something that you do to uh to make that happen?
I'm a woman. I use my sensuality and my charm. So
Okay.
I find the most alluring pictures. Y'all see me. I forgot to send it to Lynette. I told her about the red dress pic. So I find I have a plethora. So what I
Mm,
do is I go and I find the most eye-catching pictures, and it draws people in of
mm,
outfits that I've worn. Also
Mm.
use hashtags as well too. That will make people engage.
Okay.
Shout outs to my girlfriend, Blue Haze Clothing, which is a black owned fashion brand in the Atlanta area. So y'all make sure y'all go and check her out if you're on Instagram. And I've rocked a couple pieces for her on the show.
Mm.
That black dress that you guys have seen me wore that got a lot of people talking and it sold out instantly. A lot of women went and bought that same exact dress. She said, "Girl, I
Mm.
don't know what you did, but that dress is no more." It was a black dress and it
Mm.
had the gold belt around the waist and the back was out. It was backless. So I said, "This is very bold." She said, "You got to be very bold and gutsy to wear this dress." And so it's all about drawing people in. She reposted my photo. So once you get a repost, I love that Instagram has that new repost feature where
Mm.
you can go and you can repost and share. Other than just sharing it to your stories, you can go and you can repost that square thingy with the
Mm.
arrows going in the funky directions where you
Right.
can share it. But what do I do to draw attraction is I find the most provocative pictures, of me dressed fully, of course. That this ain't Playboy over here, but tasteful,
Uh,
tasteful. My mom says you can attract more bees with your honey. And that's
mm.
what I do. So I go and I find the most beautiful outfits that I've worn, and I will drop that link to my channel, and people head right on over and subscribe. It's in my stories. If it's not that, then I'm showing off the glam of the day, the hair, the makeup, anything, and it
Mm.
draws people in. Like, what is her hair going to look like today? Because that's mainly the reason why I feel people tune in because I'm always changing. I'm a
Mm.
chameleon. You don't know what you're going to get each day. Yesterday I
Mm.
had blonde hair. Today my hair is black and I have highlights at the bottom. So who's to say what my hair is going to look like tomorrow with my colleague now as the time comes on the show? So it's all about finding a way to market yourself and brand yourself. And
Mm.
that's what I would say. Find the most amazing pictures of yourself. Drop that link to your channel and your stories, and people will click it or put it in your bio as
Mm.
well too. That will draw people in. Or
Got
you can go around, people will share things to me and I don't mind. It doesn't drive me crazy. Share it with me so that I can repost it with on my Instagram because that's information that people need to know. And like I had a girlfriend and she's got her TikTok channel. So make sure
Mm.
y'all go on over there and subscribe to her TikTok channel. So that's just an example. So make sure that you are out here promoting yourself. And for me, what I do is I find the most classy pictures, the most tastefully done pictures that I've taken of outfits of the outfit of the day, and I drop that link to my channel and people subscribe. And if not that, then it's the my good morning mantras. I always post something in the mornings. So I schedule my posts. That's the secret. The secret's out because I know
Mm.
my colleague Alvin Tit for Tat this or that. He's in Africa now. He's relocated from the United States to Africa, and
Mm.
he says you'll be up at 3 o'clock in the morning posting it. I'll be in the
Mm.
bed. I schedule my posts the day before, like say for instance, tomorrow's the 5th. Today I will schedule my post for tomorrow to drop on that exact day, the 5th. It's not me posting, y'all. It's already scheduled. So I love that Instagram allows you to take complete control because when 7 o'clock hits, I'm in sleep mode. I'm in sleep mode, and I love that feature as well too. Any other messages I check in the morning. So it's like, yes, business hours are this time, but I got to have a cutoff period so that I can have time for my family as well too. Mainly my mom. I've been taking care of her. She's been sick, so make sure that you're finding that balance. But it's not about balance. Tywin asked about how do I get the attraction to come over, and that's through my pictures. My pictures, they're eye catching. It's just like, what is it? What are you wearing today? Who is this? Da 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 da. What is what? Breakdown, and then people will come in. They like it, and I don't. I get a few likes, but it's not a whole lot. But I'm
Mm.
like, I don't count up the likes. I mean, if people see it, they see it. If they're not, they'll go
Mm.
back and see it, and they'll like it. Some people will go back and like my stuff in mass, like all of my posts on Instagram. From
Mm.
a show clip that I posted, because I always post like a clip from the interview, and that also draws people in as well too. When the guests repost it, and then I
Mm.
put the link. Well, when I post the clip and then I post the link to the interview, that helps as well too. If you got a YouTube channel and you're trying to go, so promote yourself. Nobody can do it better than you. And if you have a great group of colleagues, like I know Alvin, what he does for his channel, Tit for Tat, this and that, is he has like this thing, like if you guys watch the news, you'll see the
Mm,
kind of thing that when it says breaking news, the little red thing of flash at the bottom, he has that going on his channel, but he'll have our Instagram handles and our YouTube channels at the bottom of that. So
mhm,
promote yourself on a flyer. If it's like, okay, put your Instagram handle, put your YouTube channel. I love that. That's a great way also to promote yourself, to draw people in and
mhm,
check out what you're doing as well too. So it's all about garnering those eyes. And trust me, I have a way of doing it. It's got to be
mhm,
tastefully. But I think the red dress pick did it this season,
uh-huh.
and if you guys have seen it on Instagram or something. But
Okay.
those are some of my tips that I do to draw in the viewers. It's the fashion, it's the looks. That's what people tune in for. What is you? One of my guests, he said, "What's her hair gonna look like today?" I change it so just about every day. So I mean, I don't
Do,
like to
do
stay the
you find
same.
it
That's the beauty.
do you find it hard to come up with something new to keep, keep people on their toes as far as, your looks and everything like that? I mean,
Oh my
you're
God.
a
Yeah.
creative person, so I'm not, I'm pretty sure it's probably easy for you. Do you ever come to the time where you're like, I don't know, like, should I do this? Should I do that? Well, how can I, keep it going?
It's hard. It's difficult sometimes for me. I
Mm,
have to think of something like even in that moment, if it's last minute, I'm like, okay, we're just gonna do it. Boom, let's do it. And
mm,
sometimes it works, and then there's sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'll regret it. But
mm,
I flip through a lot of fashion magazines, and not
mm,
in this day and age, not in this era, but maybe like the '90s or the '80s, and you can kind of get a sense of where my style is just all over the place. I've done so looks. And I
right.
have a whole Pinterest closet of looks. You guys can go and check it out. And it's called Miss Stevie's LOTW, Look of the Week. And you guys will see a dozen of all of my different looks. So you guys can go and check it out there. And just
Mhm.
find out where, pick my brain and find out where I get a lot of the inspiration from. So I'm on Pinterest downtime, or I'm flipping through magazines the old fashioned way. And that's kind of where I get a little bit of the inspiration from. And then I go from there and I'm like, okay, what color am I feeling? Would this look with this? So I'm always putting things together into perspective. And
Mhm.
it takes a village. It takes a village, but it always comes out so perfect, so perfect. And I would trade it for the world. Shout outs
Mhm.
to my brother K Tooks, and we were just talking about you, brother. About it. Even K Tooks gave me a few tips. He said, "Okay, sister, post your link to your K Tooks has a group on Facebook,
Mhm.
and he gave me permission to repost some of my show clips along with my YouTube channel link in his group. So that's also how a good way I get subscribers. Shout outs to another one of my colleagues, Deshaun. He goes and he shares it everywhere to all of the groups that he's in on Facebook. And that generates new traffic to me as well, also.
Mhm.
So those are just a few ways that you can get yourself out there and promote yourself. Also, word of mouth.
Mhm.
Um, Pretty soon I'll be going back to the hair salon. And the stylist who styled the look that I wore when I did the interview with Rich Richardson, I call it my Patti LaBelle out all night hair. With the swoop, and the hair was very big at the top. Lately I've just been enjoying big hair.
Yeah.
But shout outs to the stylist who styled that. I went to a hair salon and then I finished the rest when I got to the house. Because you guys keep forgetting I am licensed to do hair. So a lot of the hair here on Style by Stevie's is not just me, but I go to other beauty professionals as well too, and I get their second opinion. Like, okay, what you feeling? What we feeling today? And then we go through and we'll look at a picture of a celebrity or whatever, and mainly it's Beyonce or maybe Sherry Shepherd or whatever I'm feeling in that moment. Because I
Mhm.
have friends who are in the beauty industry, and they're just you call them, you talk to them on the phone, like, what do I think I should do to my hair today? How do I want to go about this? I always consult with the beauty professionals before I do anything, and you guys see the lasting impression of that. So I'm thankful to have a tribe of women who keep me together every single interview. Can't say I wasn't out of place. The hair, makeup, anything. So I'm thankful for that. But I always, it is a struggle. I do get blocked sometimes where it's just like,
Really?
oh my God, I've done just about all of my looks. And I
Right.
try to, when I'm shopping, I always try to get at least 18 or more different looks to have
Mhm.
for each week. And that's how I do it. I shop in bulk. I go crazy. My mom was like, "You did what? How many outfits do you have?" And I have clothes and clothes everywhere. So
Mhm.
I pull from what I already have, some pieces that I haven't worn in a while, some pieces that I've forgotten that I've had, and then some that are brand new. Like I'm looking at some right now that are brand new. And
Mhm.
you guys won't see those until I come back from the hairdresser because I got to put them together. So I'm always reinventing myself. And I believe that as a woman in this business, that Ty Wayne has it easy. He's already handsome. But for me, it's hair, it's makeup, it's all of these things. Being a woman in this business, everything has to be together. And who was it? I think it was Cardi B. I think it was Cardi B. She said that. She says that women, we have to have everything perfect in this business. That means no
Mhm.
spinach in the teeth, no lipstick on the teeth, none of
Mhm.
that. Hair, makeup has to be perfection. And she
Mhm.
was absolutely right. So when I come on, I have to make sure that everything is in tip top shape. And I appreciate y'all so much for loving and appreciating it. My sister is
Mhm.
multi talented. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Mhm.
And thank you for encouraging me because it hasn't been an easy journey. Like me and K Tooks met back in 2020, 2021 when the pandemic hit all of us. And we were just like, what are we going to do? And we
Mhm.
had to use what we had. We had to be creative. How we're doing interviews now was how we were doing interviews in 2020. And a
Wow.
lot of things were set down and impacted. The world is open back up now. So it's different than how it was in 2020, where
Mhm.
we had guidelines and we had to all of these different things. But
Mhm.
yeah, we were inside most of the time. Now everybody's
Right.
outside. Everything is open back up now. So
Mhm.
use that network. Another way to do it is if you're at an event, if you're at, if someone is throwing a mixer or a party where it's like, okay, SAG actors,
Mhm.
and they're doing, because I know a lot of actors that do films and produce films for Tubi, they throw get-togethers. And
Mhm.
not too long ago, they just had one in North Carolina. And my
Mhm.
cousin, who is the co-owner here of Style by Stevie, my cousin Sherry Martin, um, I try to make it family oriented. My mom, my cousin, and then my beauty contributor slash makeup artist slash all of the things, Melanie, who gets me right, has been with me from the beginning. Uh, I try to incorporate these women into everything that I do. So even Ashley, who's my new hairstylist that I'll be going to style some of the looks for Style by Stevie, and then along with myself, my expertise. So
Mhm.
I'm just blessed and thankful to have a tribe, to have skill, to have a gift, and to be as my brother said, multi-talented. To have a group of people around me that see my vision of what I'm wanting to do, and I always write things down.
Mhm.
That would be my advice to anybody out here who's looking to get into the business. Write your vision, your goals, and things down. Create a
Mhm.
vision board.
Mhm.
And Rico King, who was a dear friend also of the show, he said that you're always advancing ahead, even when we do our interviews. And Ty Wayne here can attest to that too. Whenever we get done with the interview, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have you back on. Shoot them the dates.
Right.
The guest will message me the date back. I lock it in the calendar. Boom, it's set. So he was like, Rico said, you always think ahead in advance. You have to in this business. You
Mhm.
have to be ahead of the curve. It's like, what is next? What is
Mhm.
going to be next? And for those of you who are Star Trek fans, you're like, okay, you're waiting on that. I use Star Trek as an example because I know that's something that we love, and I'm a Trekkie as well too. But I love Nichelle Nichols. May she rest in grace. But when you watch Star Trek, you wanted to know what was going to happen in the next episode, even if it was a to be continued. So you have to keep people wondering. You have to think in advance. Use your imagination, foreshadow. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. And one thing that I put on my vision board for this year is the word more.
Mhm.
stand for more for yourself and what you want to do in your empire, to grow your empire, to grow your business. And I know that Style by Stevie is growing for me day by day by day by day, getting recognition, being able to collab with other people, being able to get in people's comments and connect with them. And then we go from there. Like we just recently had Coach D from Midas Touch Network on, and we been had that plan.
Mhm.
I just didn't reveal it to the audience until I dropped that flyer that Friday because that's when I dropped my lineups. So we have
Mhm.
been talking behind the scenes and we had that plan. It's the same Beyonce play in the Renaissance. That's how I move. So I move like a thief in the night. You'll never see it coming. You'll never expect it. And that's what all of us have to do as creatives. Move when you're least expected. And I know being an actor, you can't say too many things if you got a new project coming out, if you signed that negotiation, you can't say too many things if you're working on something, but you can give a hint like just stay tuned. And one person I can say who is amazing is at doing that is Nelson J. Davis. And I always tease with Nelson all the time. And I say, Nelson, you got about 6,000 projects coming out. What next are you working on today? And he just cackles because it's true. He stays busy. He doesn't just act, but he's right behind the lens. He's
Mhm.
writing, he's producing, he's directing. So when we say to anybody who feels any actor out here who's in that slow period, I would say get up, start writing, start producing, start directing. And that's
Mhm.
something that I want to do. You know, other than just hosting this platform, I want to help my colleagues on their platforms. So if K Took says, sis, I want you to come and produce this episode with me, come on my
Mhm.
show. And I will be going on his show pretty soon if when we set something up because he's coming
Mhm.
on my show. So it's like, okay, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And he's gonna be coming on with me. And we actually have a panel. It's gonna be three of us
Mhm.
collaborating together that are close in the circle. So shout outs to Tony Holly as well too. It's another one of our dear friend and colleagues. So make sure that you are forming that camaraderie. It can
Mhm.
be three people in a group. Just like when we were in school, what did they do in the classroom? Our teachers would give us assigned seats and we would put the desks together and you would have to sit, okay, this is your table you sit at. This is your table you sit at. And we had nothing in common with the other students. This is what we're having to go back to now, especially in this time. Sit
It's
down with
another
someone,
way of
get
mine.
acquainted in the business, you know. And so far, it's just like I don't know this person. I don't want to sit next to this person. Can I change seats? But just sitting down and having a conversation with them can kind of open your mind. And that's why I said this is the year for me to collaborate. I want to do as many collaborations as possible with people and just sort of get a feel off of their energy. And then, like
Mhm.
yesterday, me and Lynette, we have been talking throughout the weeks about this interview, and we set it up. Boom, boom, boom. She had her reservations about it at first. The same way when I reached out to Ty Wade, he was like, "Okay, what's up? Why do you want me to come?" A lot of people ask me that. Why do you want me? And they'll think it's a sham, but it's then when they go and they watch the interviews, they're just like, "No, she's the real deal. She's a real person." Yeah,
Right.
it's not a
Right.
sham. That's that. She had her reservations about it, but that yesterday, what y'all saw, that was pure us meeting for the first time, and it was like Forrest Whitaker. No, it was Angela Bassett when they did "Waiting to Exhale." Um,
Mhm.
said that Forrest Whitaker, who is one of the directors of "Waiting to Exhale," said that, "Hey, we're gonna lock these women in a room. We're gonna give them a bottle of champagne and they shouldn't have did that. They all started laughing and talking for hours, and that's what it felt like with Lynette yesterday. It just felt right,
Mhm.
and we clicked because we did not know each other. We've been talking throughout the week.
Mhm.
She's been out here on vacation working on her films with her production company and everything,
Mhm.
and boom. Yesterday was the day we met face to face, and y'all saw that play out. And she will be coming back to the show, so the cat's out the bag. She is coming back. Um, so for that, but that was pure chemistry. We didn't make that up at all. There was nothing
Mhm.
scripted about that. That was just us loving. on each other and loving the women that we admire who inspire us. So
Mhm.
when my guests come on, it's us meeting face to face first time. There is no, it's not staged, forced, or anything.
Mhm.
And the rest is history. And they keep coming back, like Tywayne, like Nelson, like Rico, like any of my regular guests that always come back, like Ellen, uh, who's another, Will Preston, uh, it's so many K-Tubes. When y'all see us collab, y'all want more of the collaboration. And I'm meaning to tell y'all, stay out my brother's DMs talking about there's some beef and rivalry going on. What you and your sister got going on? There is no beef and rivalry going on with me and K-Tubes. We love each other, and we always talk on the phone. He calls me right before an interview as I'm getting my hair and makeup done. Yes, and our collaborations, y'all love it. Y'all turn out loving it, and y'all want more, like the music panel. Yes, y'all were waiting on me to give the go ahead because it's like, okay, your schedule. Yes, my schedule is crazy, but we are going to work on something because me, him, and Tony have been talking. So I can't give away the deets of what we've been talking about, but something is coming. Yes. Nobody's bothered you currently, but y'all be blowing K Tukes up. Y'all be going in on brother like, what's going on? When are you and your sister going to collaborate? And it's just like, it's coming. When my schedule clears up, right now booked and busy, and it's the best way to be. But we are working on something. So he will be coming back on the show. You guys are going to get another collaboration. So, and I will call that the precursor to us doing the music panel. So again, that's the beauty of having friends in this business who also love doing what you do as well too. And K Tukes loves doing what he does on his platform, the K Tuke Spot. And the way he does it is a little bit different than the way I would do it. Um, but we always give our guests a good time. Yes, it will be in the fall of this year, so y'all stay tuned for that. Another one of our colleagues, Tony Holly, is coming on. I know Bub said something about coming on the show, who's another one of our colleagues. So we have a whole circle. And when we share each other's works to the group, we follow, we repost, and we shout each other out. So that's how we do it. That's another way to gain that viewership and those eyes as well too. So where it might not seem like people are watching and paying attention, because I'm just like, it's a ghost town, it's a dead town over here. Like, are people seeing what's going on? Am I shadow banned? Because all of these thoughts start running through your mind, like, hey, what's going on? Why aren't people seeing it? But they see it. They pay attention because I've had a few uh eyes, famous eyes, watching the platform as well too, liking the post. One of them that shocked me was Gabrielle Union. And
Mm.
I did a post, a happy birthday post, and then the other was a fashion post because I've always admired her style. And she liked it. Um, Also, kind of linked a little bit with her hairstylist, Larry Sims, who's worked on Zendaya and so many other. I think he also did Janet Jackson as well too. So it's just amazing to be in that proximity. Another was Niecy Nash, and then T-Boz of TLC. They've reposted. So
Mm.
those are a couple of the highlights that I've had, and that's helped gain viewership to my platform. So thank y'all for showing so much love and support. And it's, yeah, you never know who's watching. So I mean, it took me by surprise. I was screaming loud through the house, and my mom, she was like, "What is a repost?" She didn't know what it was because my mom is not tech savvy in social media. But if I was to say it to somebody like K Tukes, he'd be like, "Bitch, get out of here! What you what? Who reposted you?" But yes, we have so much love for each other, and that's what it's about. Again, you never know who's watching, so make
Mhm.
sure that y'all are being original, staying true to yourself, and not just that, but also making sure that you're keeping the eyes focused on you. So find the most eye-catching pictures. And what I've learned that working in the world of fashion is you can't be like everybody else.
Mhm.
Don't be a zero, be one of the numbers that will stand out. And that's what I've learned in this business, in the fashion industry as well too, is that you got to have something different. You cannot be like a Calvin Klein, you cannot be like a Vera Wang, you cannot be like a Sergio Hudson. You have to be the best version of yourself. So those are just a few tips that I have for any actor who's like in that period where it's just like, hey, It's everything is kind of slowing up for me. Get
But
out there and get right. Yeah.
it's funny you say that. It's like I always tell people, they always ask me like if I book something or whatever. Um, I always tell them there's millions of actors out here, but there's only one you. You can say the same lines, but if you bring in who you are at the core, whatever it may be, it's going to shine through. Be you. And the times where I've booked something or I've been on something, it's me being me and authentically, and whatever I find silly or something that moves me, because don't do it unless it moves you. It'll shine through. People pick up on that, it's they relate to that. So like you say, there's only one you. So your perspective, your creations it'll be received as long as it comes from the heart.
And genuine. And I
Yeah.
tell people this all the time. Authenticity is key. So be original, be to your real true self. Don't try to duplicate anybody. Because there's always someone out here trying to duplicate you, but only you can be you authentically. Nobody can do it better than you. So find your
Mhm.
personality, find your style and your way of doing things, and more importantly, add your spice to it. While I'm
Mhm.
over here making my gumbo, you make your gumbo your way. Where, well, I might add a little bit of this and a little bit of that into my gumbo, spice it up your own way, and that's what everybody has to do as they're cooking or creating their own gumbo. And I use that analogy because everybody has their own formula of hosting a platform, of shooting a film, of a method that
Mhm.
works for them. Photographers have their way of doing things. Sometimes they'll give you the negatives, sometimes they do it digitally. It's different. So everybody has a formula and a way of doing things, you know? So I would say
Mhm.
everybody find their formula. My formula is not going to be like my colleagues Bubs or Conscience or King Giants or K Tukes or Tony or who's another? Oh my God, there's so many. Or Coach D or my girl Bree Star. Everybody has their formula and way of doing things, and that's what makes us so dynamic, so unique. Deshaun, Harold, Alvin, tit for tat, this and that. All of us, Boss Man. It's so many, but make sure that you are sticking to the formula that works for you. And the formula that works for me is, I would say, bringing my personality to every single interview, bringing my
Mhm.
personality, bringing my best version of myself, and allowing my guests to feed off of that energy to the point where I had one guest who was going to be coming on this month here, and we're going to do a weekend show. And he was like, I'll gladly come to South Carolina and do an interview with you. I was like, wait, hold up. I've had guests that wanted to do that. And I'm just like, I'm not, oh no. After let me, because we on YouTube, I'm gonna have to use code language here. After Miss 19 made her rounds, I was like, oh no, I'm not sitting next to nobody. I'm not touching nobody. I'm a big germaphobe. So when Miss Rona made her rounds, I was like, but now I must say, you can't let fear stop you from doing the things that you really, really want to do. So if people
Mhm.
want in-person shows or in-person interviews where you guys can be actually able to feel me, to hug me, to feel the spirit in the room, to feel my energy, my presence, all of that, I was like, well, we're going to make it happen. We're going to do something. And that's something else that I'm looking into. But finding a space that everybody will feel like they're at home. And
Mhm.
that's for any talk show. When you go into a talk show host's platform, whether it may be Ricky Lake, whether it may be Whoopi Goldberg on The View, whomever it is, Maury Povich, Oprah, whomever, they want you. You're sitting in the audience in their home. And the set
Mhm.
design, I mean, Kelly Clarkson, Drew Barrymore, Tamron Hall. Whenever you go on their set, is so nice looking. It's
Mhm.
all about the aesthetic that grabs people's eye. So as you're crafting your next journey, as you're crafting your next plan of your career, make sure that you're sitting there jotting things down. And that's what I would suggest everybody do as a creative, as a director, as a producer, as a writer. Write down what you want to do. And with Style by Stevie, I had to do that. I didn't really know what I was doing in the beginning, but I always knew I wanted to host a talk show. And that dates all the way back to 8 years old. I always knew. And I always knew that I would be doing something in the realm of talking to people, of kind of coaching people or helping people in their lives and their careers or whatever that may be. I'm no acting coach because I'm not an actress, but I am a hostess. I host a platform. So, I just give things from my lens and my perspective and my opinion, and people just like, okay, you're saying the things that we're thinking. And even if you have people that are scared to say it, it feels good to be a voice for the voiceless. It feels good to be a voice for the voiceless of those who are not so sure. And don't second guess yourself. That's what I would say as well too. Because
Right.
sometimes where you're second guessing yourself, it it can kind of backfire on you. Like this season when 2026 came in, which was January 2nd of this year, I think we came back and my first guest, I can't remember who my first guest was. I think it was Anthony Riley, somebody. Don't charge it to my head and not my heart, y'all. I have done over 1,000 interviews and counting. And it's so many people that I've sat with. I can't remember names. I remember I did one interview and I done got somebody's names. It was Justin Goodwin, and about Jonathan Majors. And I was lusting over him, Tywayne. I was lusting because Jonathan put that shirtless picture up, and I'm just like, y'all know I'm a sucker for muscles. So I called him Jonathan in the middle of the interview. He was just like, "It's okay," and I was like, "Yes, oh God, I can't believe it." So I got him mixed up. But yes, that things like that happen. It happens in the moment. But I would say from 2018, and I was telling King Judah this, I said from 2018 to now 2026 has been like a blur. It's just like I've sat with so many people, and even K Toots can vouch for that. When him and Tony did their interview, they said, "Who would you like to see?" They were just calling out random celebrities that they would like to see me sit down and interview with on the
Mhm,
show. And Tony said this in the interview. Shout outs to Tony Holly. He says she's literally sat with just about everybody. Not everybody. There's still
mhm,
some guests that I would love to have on, but I'm just like,
mhm,
not there yet. Not on their caliber yet. Like Jennifer Hudson is one. Who's another? Taraji P. Henson is one. Uh, uh Michelle Obama is another. Kamala Harris is another. I mean, it's so many that I would love to have here on my platform. But
but
in due
but
time,
you're going to. I wouldn't even
yes.
say they're out of your caliber. I'm not even. I'm not gonna speak that. It is your caliber. You know what I'm saying? So they'd be lucky for you to interview them. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I'm gonna speak life into that. Yet. You know what I mean?
Denzel is another. Look, I mean,
Mm,
it's so many that I would love to sit with, but who knows what's in the cards for me or who could be setting up with me. And as we're speaking right now, it's people that are still getting back to me saying, "I would love to come on your platform. I would love to
mm,
come on." They're still booking interviews, and I'm having to find a way, y'all. I'm having to do doubles. So yes, you guys are going to be getting some double shows, possibly some weekend shows like I used to with my co-host EJ and Johnny. But the guys dreaded getting up early in the mornings. We would do it at 9 a.m. on Saturday.
mhm,
And now we just changed the time to doing it later in the evenings of 4 p.m. to make it
mhm,
feasible for everybody. And anybody, if they're just getting off from work, they picking up the kids from school or whatever, they can put it in their car. We have it where you can put YouTube on your phone and then on the TV screen and all of that as well. So you can connect Instagram and watch it on your TV as well. So anybody doesn't feel left out like I missed something, they can go back and they can catch the replay. So what was I about to say? Yes, the Saturday shows. I'm having to squeeze people in. So you're going to see some 3 p.m.s and then you're going to see some 4 p.m.s. So you're going to get two interviews back to back and vice versa. Because I'm like, I'm so booked up, I don't even have no more room on the books. And I'm
It's
looking at
good.
my little book right there now. And the book is full, like from page to page, cover to cover. So that's a blessing to be able to have that many. But I'm having to squeeze people in. So make it work. Balance, 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 balance is key. And I would tell that to anybody who is looking to excel in this business, looking to build a name for themselves as well. So that's what I would close out with. But slow periods, yeah, you're gonna have those slow periods to anybody, but don't let that stop you. Get up, write, produce, direct, even if it's a short film, even if it's a
Mhm.
skit, you keep promoting yourself because nobody can do it better than you. Excuse
And it,
this dress over here.
it's it's also fun. I'm also this. I forgot to mention this. I'm going to. I'd say 2026. I'm going to be um, producing, and I might even act in it. But I'm trying to do kind of a modern day version of True West by Sam Shepard. And it's a play about if you're talking about balance, it's definitely a balance about two brothers. I don't want to give too much, but it has a lot to do with duality. And I think Philip Seymour Hoffman and John C. Riley did it on Broadway, and I think every night they would switch the roles. You know what I'm saying? It's a great play about
Oh,
in character work. You know what I mean as well. So that's something that I'm going to do next year. So I'm just trying to fill out building a team of who
juices
I
are
want to
flowing, your
collaborate.
creativity.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Y'all, excuse me, this dress over here. The name of this dress is called Tongue Tied. And when I tell y'all it's twisted, if you guys have seen Terry Maguire's, it's just like that. So if y'all see me adjusting, I'm sorry. But but I think that that's key and crucial. That's something to pull. That's something to tap into. Because even
Mm.
Taraji said where she feels like, okay, I'm not getting these shows, but she's on Broadway right now as we speak. Joe
Joe
Turner's
Turner,
come and
come.
gone,
Like, um,
her and Cedric, Debbie Allen. This is based off of an August Wilson book. So you got to make sure that you're having, again, multiple streams in the fire.
mm,
Lynette, she started off doing what she did, The Wiz in elementary school.
mm,
And she was like, I don't think I have the best. I was like, girl, you're amazing at what you do. You
mm,
gave us so many great projects. And make sure y'all go and support her company, New Breed Entertainment. You don't really see often a lot of African American women with their own production companies. I mean, you've got Issa Rae, Shonda Rhimes, uh, Lena Waithe. Is so many out here. Queen Latifah has hers, and a lot of people keep forgetting that flavor. So y'all make sure
mm.
y'all go and check that out.
Shout out to
Make sure that
Doris.
you're supporting Black creatives, Black voices more than ever, Black media more than ever. Because again, keep in mind, I'm not funded, I'm not backed by any corporations. This is all me, and this is free information, and you don't have to pay me a dime to get it from my guest or myself. I am happy to share that information, and each one teach one and passes that information on to the next person and the next person. That's how I do it. Whereas most people say you gotta, even on Instagram, they want you to pay for a subscription. I haven't even put that monetize button on. I could monetize my posts and start making money off of it. They've given me options. They're saying your posts are doing great. Why not monetize off of it? I choose not to. I don't want to make people pay for free information or the truth. As an influencer, as a host of a platform, I'm like, no, I don't think people should have to pay for that. It's optional. If you want to, you can. But me, I'm going to give you free information and truth as well. And so is my guest. That information should be there and provided for everybody. It's just like books. Yes, you pay for a book. And down here in my library, we have books that are for sale. And it's a mixture of, history. You've got a little bit of romance. You got a little bit of cooking. They have a shelf as soon as you come in the library with books that are for sale, and you can get one for $1. You can get one for 25 cents. Like these are hardback books that people read.
Mm.
So that's information. So yeah, that's a good feasible price for a book, and you'd be surprised what you can find. So definitely take advantage of information out here, and that's what I want y'all to do with my platform. So that's why I say, hey, All you got to do to me is subscribe, repost, as long as you mention me. I know when I did the interview with my girl Bree Star, that clip that you guys seen, that went viral, and a lot of people are still liking it. So thank y'all so much. She posted it on her page, and that garnered me information. She asked, she said, "Hey, you want to collab? Collaborations also help as well too." Bobby Washington is going to be coming on the show sometime next week, um, and he sent me the thing to collaborate. I love that Instagram has that feature. So if someone tags you in a post and they ask you to collaborate, they'll give you the option to add it to your story as well too. Click that join that accept, and it'll have you on there, and that will also draw traffic to your page. So there's a way to get your name out here to get eyes to watch whatever it is that you're doing and to keep focused and engaged. So those are just a few tips that I have, fashion dolls, that can help anybody who's feel like, okay, I'm not getting the viewership that I want. Even when I first started out, I was upset. I'm like, make sure that y'all come in, don't just sit here and watch. Like I was a teenager just about to become in my adulthood in my 20s, and I would just go crazy. Like people would be like coming in, I say, come on in and share the live and da 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 da. But now I'm just like, they share and they repost. They do it on their own and they network amongst themselves. So that's the beauty of it. The next
Mhm.
person tells the next person, and then the next person tells the next person, and the next person tells the next person. I have classmates that watch my interviews. My mom was just got out of the hospital. We were in the nursing home because my mom had to do rehabilitation. And I ran into some of my classmates. And so my father made a running joke about it. He said, "You got some of your little spies in there. How do you know all of these girls?" I said, "I went to school with them. These are my friends. Like, these are my girls." So they made sure my mom was okay. So, yes, I guess you could say that. But they were my classmates. They were happy to see me and wondering what I've been doing. And they, surprisingly, when I go out, people watch the show. I went to the polls to go vote, which reminds me, make sure y'all are registered to vote. Go vote. Early voting in South Carolina. And I think tomorrow is the last day. You got primaries coming up June 9th down here in the Carolinas and June 23rd. So make sure y'all stay tuned. I went to the polls and I wasn't made up or anything. I didn't have on any makeup. It was super hot. I'm like, it's too damn hot to put on glam. So I just went and I had on like my little fedora hat and my little romper thing. I wasn't made up or anything, no makeup. And one of the poll workers, she recognized me. So she started waving and she started doing this because I do this with my audience members as well too, like kissing them, like literally showing them love because y'all show me so much love. And she did it to me. And then the next person did it. It was somebody else who came in and did it. So I'm starting to get recognition in my hometown, which is a very small town, and people are watching. So I can go in the store. As soon as I come in the store, hey, everybody's waving like maybe four or five people, and then others. So the recognition
So,
is coming down here, and I love it. I love it. And my mom must be like, "What you do?" They've gotten old enough to start walking up to my mother. That's how that's how good it is. Y'all start walking up to my mother and asking where I am. I'm home somewhere in the bed or either cooking or doing an interview at that time. And my mom will be out there grocery shopping, her and my dad. And people will walk up to my mother and ask where I am. They won't ask my brothers because I keep in mind I have four brothers and I have two sisters. They'll instantly ask where I am because they watch Style by Stevie, or they've seen the post on Facebook, or they've seen it on Instagram, and people instantly just draw to it. So I love the little recognition that I'm getting down here. I appreciate it. And that lets me know that I'm doing something right. So that's another way to grow, word of mouth. And then when people see your work, they pass it on to the next person and then the next person. My family members, they view the show as well too. So I'm like, okay, I love this. And I love it. It's been a ride. This year alone, season 20 has just been an amazing journey, an amazing everything, and I can't wait for 21. and beyond to come. So that's what I would close out with, Fashion Dolls, is making sure that you market yourself. Nobody can do it better than you. Find what works for you and do it. What works for me is, I would say that the key things that people should pay attention to is color. People should pay attention to color.
Yeah.
It, like, if you look at what's a color, okay, what's a restaurant, or when you look at Olive Garden, you see the grapes, you see the purple, you see the beige, and the logo. You see all of those things. Another brand would be Jimmy Dean. You see that Jimmy Dean sausage that you cook, that red and that black and that gold. Instantly, it draws you in. What's another brand? Let's go to the makeup side. CoverGirl. CoverGirl Cosmetics. You see that CG, you see the logo, you instantly know what it is. So, I mean, it's all about marketing yourself. It's all about getting yourself out there. And though people pay attention to colors, they pay attention to details. There's a method to my madness for how I do things as well too. So each interview or each, I'll tell the viewers, put green hearts in the comments. Last year, 2025, the colors were blue, silver, black, and uh, purple, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was blue, silver, black, and purple. And I said, put those color hearts in the comments. This season, I chose green for a reason because green represents great wealth, great health, a new beginning, all of the things, serenity, those blessings. That's what it brings in for you. So there's a reason why I chose the whole green logo for this season here in particular. But make sure that y'all are finding out what works for you, what color palettes work for you, as far as marketing your brand, as far as marketing your film. Let's go to the horror movie side since we're talking about film and acting. Scream. Scream is one of my favorite thrillers, psychological thrillers or slash horror films. And you see the white logo with the slash going down the middle, and then you see the actor's face at the bottom. Y'all seen the posters. So
Mhm.
yes, it's a method to everybody's madness as it pertains to advertising. It's all about getting yourself out there. So that's what I would wrap and I would close with, Fashion Dolls. So, do we have any other questions for myself or Ty Wayne, for anybody that is watching? And y'all make sure y'all go and support what Ty Wayne is doing with this project. I can't wait to see it. And I say
Yeah.
keep writing, keep producing, keep directing, keep doing what you're doing, because where it may seem like it's a period where everything is kind of like, even for me, I feel like there are days like that, and I'm
Mhm.
like, what am I going to do now since that's backed out of an interview? What's going to be my next game plan? And one of my colleagues will go live and someone will spot me in the chat and they're instantly typing my name in the chat or whatever. And that
Mhm.
draws people to the channel. So we shout each other out in our circle. So we have like a whole circle of us. K Tooks will shout me out. I will shout K Tooks out. Faith is the substance. Shout outs to my girl. She will do it as well on her channel. So we have like it's like a chain reaction. We're all locked in
Mhm.
and we're all shouting each other out, and people will come to my platform. They will go to her platform. They will go to K Tukes. They will go to Bubs. They'll go to Conscience. They'll go to King Jobs. They'll go to Bree. They'll go to Sean, Alvin, Tit for Tat, this and that. Each and every one of us, we have something to bring to the table. So that's what I would say, Fashion Dolls. And again, congratulations to you on this project. I can't wait to see it. And what
Yeah.
else that you have going on. It's going to be a lot
Mhm.
more, where it may seem like it's
Mhm.
a period where it's kind of just like, okay, get up and write, produce,
Mhm.
and direct. And that's what I would
Mhm.
tell you. And I'm going to bring him back. Ty Wayne is a regular here at Style by Stevie, so I'm going to bring him back on the show. Fashion Dolls, do we have any other questions, any other comments, any other concerns that you'd like to address? And you guys know that my colleague, also a regular on the show, now's the time, who you guys know and love, will be with me tomorrow. So make sure y'all tune in for that. That's going to be great. So It's been a minute. I didn't even have a way to set him in, but I said, thank God there was a cancellation, and I squeezed him right on in. I texted him, I think, the previous week before, and he was just like, hey, I thought we was doing something in September. I said, September's all booked up. So someone canceled out. They had something come up. I said, boom, thank you, Jesus. Put him right in that position. And he'll be on tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 4. But do we have any other questions, any other comments, any concerns, Fashion Dolls? We covered a number of things in today's show, which is basically where it might seem like it's a standstill. There's always something you can do.
Always.
And
Oh, yeah. That's why I just want to hit on before I go. Just be patient and stay the course. And like you say, the collabs is your circle. The I feel like the people that are already made it or successful in Hollywood or wherever, they have their circles. They, like you said, network. What do they say? Like network upwards, like network, like lateral, like Issa Rae said. You know what I'm saying? The people that's around you to collaborate, and it's like even as I think of this, I'm like, I want to be able to have a platform for people that normally don't get any shine or have opportunities to act and do what they love, you know. So when I start doing my projects, when I do my projects, I'm gonna definitely tap into my my colleagues, you know, and friends and associates, you know, talented people who I think is talented, not just go for a name, you know what I mean? Which is great if they're interested, but I want to get people that's passionate and may not get the shine that I'm gonna have a whole bunch of unknowns, you know. So I'm definitely and to hope catapult them to being known. So yeah.
absolutely. And that's even when I come, and I'm pretty sure that was a question you probably wanted to ask. Uh and even some guests that I've reached out to, they'll go and this is how assumptions are, Fashion Dolls. I've sent them some of my interviews, and I'll give you one. Shout outs to her. We became the best of friends after we did that interview. It was Valenicia Talbert, and she is a voiceover artist, and she's in the Atlanta area.
Mhm.
And she was sort of skeptical, like, why you wanted to interview me? I'm gonna send you that interview too, so that you can check it out. And she's like, why did you want to interview me? She had the same way Ty Wayne and all of the other guests that I've reached out to, they sort of have their reservations. And they go and they watch my interviews and they'll say, why me? Why you choose me? Yes, I sit with celebrities, Fashion Dolls, I do. But I want to showcase new faces as well too. I want to
Mhm.
showcase up and coming filmmakers, producers, and I think that would be perfect to do that, to showcase new faces as well too. Not just yes, of the well-known names of the world. Yes, yes, but um I've had some they're just like, well, I'm not on that level yet. The same thing I just said in Taiwan, say, you know what, you are. And I tell
Mhm.
them the same thing. You are
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
You are there. And I chose you for a reason. Remember Janet Jackson used to do at her concert, she would pull a guy up on stage and she would point and she'd say, you. That's me right there. I want you on my show. Okay?
Mhm.
So I
Right.
handpicked, the queen handpicks you. I pick you and I want you to come on my show. And that's how it is. And then we just go from there. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a big name, but definitely highlight and showcase. Another example that I want to give a shout outs to is Nate Taylor. He has a film out called Broken, and it's on Tubi, and it's a powerful film. I interviewed him and the lead co-star of that film, Haley. You guys can check that interview out here on the channel as well too.
I've heard about
And
broken.
we were yes, Nate Taylor, awesome, awesome director, producer. He did that film, and we were talking about the power of networking, the power of understanding the chain reaction and how it works. So Even when I reached out to him, he sort of had his reservations about, why do you want to interview me? You sat with this person and this person, and they'll go down the list after they've seen the interviews. And I tell them, listen, I see an incredible filmmaker, I see an incredible producer. I want to support what you're doing. I want to repost what you're doing because we all we got is black filmmakers and creatives and directives. And whereas we do have shows like the Entertainment Tonight, uh, what's another? The Hollywood Reporter,
Access
THO.
Hollywood, yeah.
There's so many, Access Hollywood, so many out here. But I want to make sure that my people are not left out. Yes, you can be
Mhm.
on these spaces that we just named, but I want to make sure that you're included as well too. The new faces, not just the big names, the Zells and so many others. That's just an example. But make sure that you are turning back. And I'm like, I'm not going to leave anybody behind. If they're a filmmaker and they look like me and they're doing something, I'm going to make sure that they have a place to speak on their project, to promote their projects. Again, the Janet Jackson approach. I want you. Come on. And that's how I do it. But there's a method to my madness. So again, find your creativity, find what works for you. And I would tell that to anybody before we close real quick is make sure that you're networking. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Where it might seem like it's a little period where things are nonstop. Tyrone Nathaniel, as I've mentioned, his mom has a production company. Put him right to work, writing, making sure that everything is right there, behind the scenes. Those are things that you can be doing.
Mhm.
So get involved, make it a family effort if you have that type of company where it's like, family and producer director. So that's what I would say to anybody
Mhm.
before we close out Fashion Dolls. Any last minute thoughts or remarks before we close out? Fashion Dolls, always a great time catching up with Tyween here in the Dollhouse. And I
Same
hope
here.
you guys enjoyed today's show, truly, because we needed to talk about this. I know a lot of actors that some that I tried to book to come on the show is just like, I'm not doing anything. There's always something you can do.
Always, always.
I've got something to do after this interview. Other than just edit the clip from today's show, I've got to get started on writing the article for Original Magazine UK. So you guys be on the lookout for that summer fashion trends because we are now heading into the summer months. And as you all know, the fashions are going to change. So definitely that's something that I have to get on. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same. Find something to do. And once I'm done with that, there's a bunch of interviews next week, this entire month. So you're going to get a mixture of things, some weekday shows and then maybe one or two weekend shows. So you guys just stay tuned. But that's all I have for today, Fashion Dolls. Before we close out, Tywin, are there any gems you would like to leave to any actors who might have felt
Uh,
like, hey, I'm in this period where it's like it's kind of at a standstill and things are not progressing? What tips would you give them?
well, I would say just just going back on what we've already touched on, just resiliency. Um, be into the art, be into the process. If you're into the process, you won't be so enamored with the results. You have to love the process, and the results will come. If you're just thinking about the results, you're never going to find the love for the process. I love the fact of where I started and where I'm at and where I'm going. It's the journey. You ever got something you've really wanted something really bad, and then you get it and you're like, dang, that was over really quick, or that, you know what I mean? So don't be patient and enjoy the time that you have to, if it's slow to yourself, to be creative. That may be God's way of saying, hey, how about look at something else that just discover another iron in the fire. You know what I'm saying? Uh it's a blessing. Every what does it say? Every setback is an opportunity for a comeback. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
I just say be patient and appreciate the process, because now it's slow, but still, I'm still blessed. I'm still able to do what I want to do. And if you're truly an artist, there's always something you can make art out of. Even then, if you're having a hard time, make art out of it, as an old acting coach used to say. So yeah, so that's my advice.
And my advice to you, fashion dolls, I tell y'all this all the time, is live life through fire. I'm a Scorpio and I do not give up easily. I am determined. My mom's a Libra. And one thing she has taught me is to have determination, to go after what sets your soul on fire, to be passionate, to be persistent, and to never give up. Where it may seem like is a dark time at your career, where it's like things are at a standstill, trust me, something great. Your phone will ring. Trust, you could have done an audition and couldn't have landed the part just like that or whatever. And you got rejected from the part, but you can be riding down, going to get something to eat or doing what you're doing, any regular, everyday, whatever you're doing. And your phone is ringing, and that producer or that director will call you back and say, come read for these sides right here. Come read for this character. It just didn't feel right to put you in there. But read for this part right here. And the next thing you know, you're coming from background, doing scenes and doing background work to coming to the front and being next to lead. And then the next thing you know, you're lead. I told y'all the story about that actor that I interviewed when it was, I want to say 2021, 2022, when the Wu-Tang Saga came out. Once you land a role, you can't really give away too many deets or whatever project that you're working on. You can't really give a whole lot away. And he said, Miss Stevie, I auditioned for something. And then boom, fast forward a week after that interview, you see him in that trailer for the Wu Tang Saga. So that just goes to show you how powerful manifestation is. If you believe it, you put it out there and do the work, it will come to you. So that's what I will say. Deshaun has been blowing my DMs up. I have to check everything after the end of the show, Deshaun. I got to do an article. I got to edit this clip. And a girl got to eat. So all of this is coming off. This waist is snatched, and this corset is coming off. So after this, fashion dolls, I'm about to go stuff my face and get to work on this article and check the Sean's messages. They were going off during the show. I couldn't check them. But fashion dolls, again, make sure that you are all finding something to do. Any actor out there where it may like it seem like it's a slow period, it will pick up. I promise you. Trust me. Have faith. Collaborate and network. And that's what I would say, fashion dolls. Uh, Let everyone know where they can follow you, Ty Wayne. And as always, a great time. I would love to have you back on again, and we're gonna
Yeah,
set that up.
right. Yeah, no, most definitely. Well, on IG and Facebook, it's just my name, Tywayne Wheat, TYWAYNE And on TikTok is TYEDA Creator. So Ty the Creator. So just, look me up, follow me if you can, and just send me inspiration or anything that you're doing so I can support. So that's it. Yeah.
And the same here, vice versa. When you release those projects, when they start coming out, when you start doing promo, send it to me. Don't be afraid. You guys send stuff to me. Deshaun always sends me stuff, and so many other filmmakers. Shout outs to Michael James as well too, and Sasha Love, uh, Mike James and Sasha Love and Rico Cassadine. They will send me things, and when they post things, I'm always reposting. So shout outs to Michael James, amazing actor. Nelson will post things. Shout outs to Levi Otis as well too, who's another who will send things, who will post things, and I'm always reposting. So make sure y'all go and support what Ty Wayne is doing. Check out some of his projects, check out commercials, anything. Again, the word of the day, Fashion Dolls, is residuals. And we're going to make sure that every black entertainer gets their residuals, and rightfully so. So make sure that y'all are supporting. They won't get the residual unless you're not watching. So make sure that you're watching. Make sure that you're running those streams up. Make sure that you support their films, their projects that they're in as well too. Take a screenshot. Take a recording of them in the film. Tag them. That's a good way for them to get promotion as well too. And not only just that, but for them to get their name out there to the world. Because trust, whereas you're doing background and you're next to lead, because I've seen a picture of this handsome gentleman pictured alongside one of my favorite actresses, Monique. I nearly died because she popped up in one of my interviews through a friend of mine, Sky Valentine. And as she always says, "Hey, my sweet babies, I wanted to die." Like, literally. I'm like, this is Monique. And she's been such an inspiration to me. Just how bold, how brazen, how beautiful she is, and just how outspoken and without a care. She inspires me to do what I do because I'm also outspoken. But she came in that interview, and it was when me and Sky went live. I have the clip posted here on my channel. I was emotional because Sky was telling me some things, and it just struck. I had a bad day, and in the clip I'm crying, but you guys can see it here on the channel. But she popped up in that interview, and again, her words, "Hey, my sweet babies." So Monique is watching. That one took me for another. Then Melba Moore then popped up in the damn interview as well too. Almost gave me a heart attack when I was interviewing a designer. And just like I said, easy day for her. So again, you never know who's watching. But again, I love y'all all, Fashion Dolls. Y'all stay true, stay original to who you are, and never lose the formula. Do the work. And I will see y'all tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Make sure y'all tune in with my colleague. Now's the time. Check him out on Wayo FM. He's in Rochester, New York. So y'all go and check him out on Wayo Radio Fridays and then Saturdays as well too. He's been out here doing the networking. I mean, he's streaming on apps and everything. So another way to get yourself out there. And I've learned that from a friend of mine, Devon Tatum, who's also an actor and a producer as well too. He's doing it independently. So he said, "You want to get yourself out? Go to apps, go to Clubhouse, build you a group, connect with people, have panels of actors, SAG actors, forum groups. Do what you got to do so that you guys can all keep busy and form that group so that you can find projects and work with each other." So that's what I would encourage you to do. All right. So, Fashion Dolls, without that being said, y'all be fabulous, be amazing, and make sure that you're following Ty Wayne, supporting his projects. Make sure that you also follow me on Instagram as well too. Style by Stevie Daytime _ I love y'all all, Fashion Dolls, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Only on Style by Stevie. Take care.
Peace.